But yeah, like you gotta live your life. Like it point blank simple. Like just live your life. Like strive and try to grasp the things you want and you want to experience. Even if it's something, minute. We can sit here and talk to you guys until we're blue in the face. Uh but like in reality, we want you guys to like we always say, just be better, do better. Like there's a whole other world out there that, people like us, even not even based on color. It's not even like a black or a white thing. There's a whole world out there that, you know, we don't get to experience. Middle class people
Oh my
don't
God.
get to
My
experience.
God, bro.
Like,
I'm telling you.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player.
alrighty,
I
ladies and
was
gentlemen,
made to
welcome back
build
to
the
the Dirty
game.
Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always, he is my co-host Aaron Mack. We're back to give y'all another great episode.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the place where the elephant is always welcome, and the elephant is going to be here today. Um, so kick back and enjoy the Dirty Trump podcast. And, on the way to the place where we're going to give you inspiration on the way to the place that's going to take the inspiration out of you if you're listening to this, if you're going to work. Some of you who may be listening to this while, you're just doing your daily grind, you already reached the entrepreneur status. Congratulations. But we strive to be you.
Big
So
ups,
we are
big ups.
average men, average guys, trying to do, average guys doing phenomenal things and making our way up, finding that success, finding our way out of corporate America. So, Ma, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. Ain't much too going on. I want to get into patience real quick. I got this interesting story, right? Where you know, everybody has car troubles. Uh, and I did everything to the car to basically kind of what I thought would fix it, or but it was still acting funny a little bit. But I was like, I did everything I could. If something happens to it, we'll we'll get to that when we cross that bridge or whatnot. So just driving it regularly, it gets me to point A, it gets me to point B. So I won't be really, complaining about it. Uh Out of nowhere, it kinda shifted real funny, and then it just like it was acting normal. Like it 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 is normal now. Like just out of nowhere, it's normal. Which is weird. But patience, man, patience. Like it if you can't control the situation, like there's no reason, literally no reason to get bent out of shape about it. uh Leaving it alone sometimes is not the answer. Sometimes you actually have to like get in there, get your hands dirty and actually fix the problem, if that's looking in, if that's cutting people off around you, changing your inner circle, whatever it looks like. you know you just have to do it. Like uh it's literally just like the saying, there's nothing to it but to do it. So
And to do what? To have patience at this, just what you're saying?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
everything takes patience. Learning how to cut people off, or learning how to deal with the problems that arise, because you're not gonna solve a problem like as soon as it happens. there's a learning curve, as people would say, um, as a job would say, you know. But yeah, it was just a interesting little situation, you know.
So now the car is acting normal now. Like they're
Yeah,
like the problems that you had before, they just gone.
just poof.
Alright.
Wait, I'm telling
So so yeah, y'all heard that. I would I'm gonna be real with you. I wouldn't have had the patience. It's just I didn't have the patience when I was going through it. I don't know, bro. Like when you get to a point where you I filled up my car,
you.
my last joint, and this was my final draw, right? My
Mm,
final straw. Um, I was like an hour away from home, and this joint used to act funny whenever you put gas in it. Like something would be
oh man.
some weird to happen to the vacuum inside the shit. I was about to say in cartridge. The the fuel injectors. Something
Uh,
funny happened up in that joint, and then like when I fill it up, it'll usually do this little joint where it's like it act like it don't want to start. But
hmm,
like on this day, for whatever reason, I was like an hour away from home and just got some gas, and that joint it took about 15 minutes for that joint to start, bro.
come on.
And like the only reason and the patience thing kicked in at that point, and I was like, and I was about to start calling around and trying to figure out a plan. I walked away from the joint for a minute, went and got something to eat for a second, came back, and was like, you know what? Before I give up on it, before I call a tow truck, let me go ahead and start that boy. Um, and she started up. But that was the last bit of patience I had for it. I spent that last bit of patience right in
In
that
that
moment trying
moment.
to start that
Uh-huh.
car up. I got rid of that joint before I had to put gas back in it, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, I can't do this no more, bro. Because I was thinking about the fact, like, yo, what would happen if I had to get like a tow truck to come pick me up, all this other stuff. Like, yo, I was like, I'm good on that. I'm straight. I can deal without that.
Or um and then other situations like uh realizing when it's time to let something go, especially if it's, you know, becoming an inconvenience or like a strain, a strain on your life, then yeah, you know, in certain situations like that, yeah, I would say, you know, let it go. Or if it was causing, you know, any type of problems, if they're like minute problems, like just, you know, something insignificant. Well, I ain't gonna say insignificant. Something small. You know, you could hold out with that, but it's all personal preference. You know, everyone has uh their threshold. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, my threshold for BS is really really small. Like, and not to say BS, but like things taking me out of my element for my threshold for that is really small. Cause it's
Mm,
like it be simple stuff that be like I'm like yo I'm trying to work.
mm-hmm.
I got things to do. I got deadlines to make, and then like for whatever reason, like the car started messing up, and now I gotta take my focus off of doing something that the world need to do
Mm-hmm.
something that I need.
That's true. That's true.
So like, um, oh, bro, I I had a situation one time, bro, when I couldn't focus on absolutely nothing when I
Mm,
had that last car. Like I had spent the whole like, bro, for real, we only get 3 days off a week, dog. Like
yeah.
the job only allow us to get 3 days off, right? And then you got the little time in between shifts, right? But I oh man, that sounded nasty. But I spent the whole 3 days off one time, man, trying to work on the car, bro.
Yeah, I'll do that to you. A job will do
Like
that
this,
to
it's
you.
not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. Like I was like, yo, I had 86,400 seconds in a day,
Mm-hmm.
and there are people out here who do what I just did for a living, and then they do it. Not only do they do it for a living, they know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
My ass is under the car on YouTube trying to figure out how to do it, and then have a possibility of doing it half-ass because I don't know what I'm doing, and then going to end up having to do it again.
Big facts. Big facts. It's kind of like how we mentioned on a previous episode a while back how uh people take shortcuts uh or in trying to save money they spend more money than what they have to. Uh and it's real finicky with situations like that, especially a car. Because if you don't know what you're doing, depending on the part or the uh whatever position or place that the car is acting funny, yeah, you could really like mess something up if you're going in there half ass. Uh and in doing that though, don't you feel like it's kind of like you're becoming your own, I'm not gonna say leader, but you're taking charge of a situation that normally people would just kind of give up on. Do you feel like that's a boss or false move?
For people to give up on it on like doing the like pretty much doing what I did.
Yeah.
It depends on why you're doing it. Like some people they ignore the responsibility of doing these things
Mm,
because they just don't feel like it. It just um today is my off day and I don't really
mm,
feel like doing nothing but watching TV and eating chips on the couch. So like it depends on the motive behind it. Like
mm,
me personally, I was just like, look, I got stuff that I gotta do. And it will never get done if I keep this car.
mm,
Like I'm just being real. I was just like, look,
mm. True.
this is the last straw. Like I can't like in order for me to like I gotta sink money into this thing. Like, bro, I was spending. Hey, I don't know if you calculate this like this stuff the same, bro. But when I was spending money trying to fix the car up, I was
Mm,
writing that stuff down, bro. And I spent like and like quiet as kept. Like I paid $4,000 for the joint. Like it was a hoopty. Like point A to point B. I was like, look, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. Um, shit. Within a year of having the joint, I spent like $1,000 on maintenance.
mm.
And within the 3 years that I had it, I spent four. So
Yeah.
I spent $8,000 on a car, bro. I might as well buy a new one. And then for the fact that the fuel injectors went out, I would end up having to spend money on that or getting that switched out and all that, or either that or spend time trying to change it myself, which I knew I could have did, but at the same time, I don't have time. We
True.
and we and when I got rid of it, it was around the time where we was going to start traveling to go to conventions and stuff. That car
Mm,
wouldn't have made it, bro.
true. True.
Plus, it ain't have a real brake line, so but the brakes went out on me while I was driving one time. Man, we ain't gotta talk about that.
Well, jeez.
Um, yeah, exactly. Like, bruh, I was done with it. So like, boss move.
All right. All right. Uh, so I'm guessing at that time, you took it upon yourself to, uh, instead of being, a follower and doing like, the social norm, people they treat cars like, actual,
Like it's an
babies.
asset.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's an asset. Like for real, they made for you to get rid of them.
Big facts. uh, and it's crazy because it'd be like so many cars with like recalls on them. Like, oh well, we made it with this part that it's gonna break down almost as soon as you
or
get
the
it.
shit that could catch on fire when it's off.
I how does that? All right. Anyway,
You know.
yeah, big boss move to put yourself in that situation where you could uh lead better because a knight or whatever is only as good as his horse. He can't make it nowhere without a loyal steed by his side. So yeah, we gonna get into
Like for real, like I want to add to this mod. Like I
mm,
am at no point at this conversation trying to convince you to get a new car, but like I'm just saying, like in my personal opinion,
mm,
like I couldn't continue having that. Like, bro, there's a reason why I wear black every day.
mm,
Because I don't have to stand in the closet and make a decision on what clothes I should wear. I can grab something and I can keep moving. There's a reason for that. Like the it takes like when the average person, it takes them 15 minutes a day to figure out their clothing choices, which adds up to somewhere about an hour to an hour and a half a week, bro. That's a lot of time that I could get something done, bro. Like when you add it up that way, like I said, it's 86,400 seconds in a day. When you
mm,
add it up like that, it becomes a lot of time. So like when I was working on the car, like when I just kept like every single day, it seemed like I was working on this car instead of working on my passion, bro. Like that's just me being honest with you. Like so that like I'm not trying to convince you or anything, but that was that's what I was doing. Like I was spending way too much time on things that didn't matter, and the car didn't matter because it ain't an asset.
it's a luxury liability, huh?
Oh, that
Uh,
thing wasn't even a luxury. Remember you ripped the door off
that
of it.
was not my fault.
Oh, I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
fall off in my hand. I was in the car already.
Oh man. But all right. Okay. So, and in situations like that, why do you think people get into the headspace of, uh, I have to, fix this problem right here instead of, just letting it do what it do so I can focus on my passion? Because right now you're like you're optimizing like every second of the day to focus solely on your passion to get where you want to go.
I could be a little better at that, but I appreciate the compliment. But like I remember one time, man, and uh Ti said on a song one time that he bought a Lamborghini and had to drive
Mm,
it through Houston, got a flat tire, had to leave it in Houston. Um, and then he said something about getting a new one. I think he said on the same joint, if I'm not mistaken. But like I uh I remember hearing that song, and I don't even remember what song it is at the moment. Um, but when he said it,
mm.
it rubbed the guy that I was working with the wrong way. Like I was working at Walmart at the time,
Mm,
and we were having a conversation, and I brought those lyrics up, bro, and I was like, look, man, like you want to work on cars forever. I'm like, yo, I ain't got the time for that. Like, I don't want to sit back and work on cars all day. Like, I'm not a mechanic.
mm,
That's not what I signed up to do. And I was like, I'm at this point in my life. Like, if I'm having an issue with the vehicle, then the only thing I need to do is to buy a new one because these joints get some dope ass warranties, bro. Like, I'm just being real with you. Like, you spend the amount of money that you could pay for a new car on the maintenance of the old car, and it all come out about the same. And
Mm,
at the end of the day, when you done working on the old joint, you still ain't getting nothing done. So if I'm gonna spend the
mm,
same amount of time doing the same, like time going to go at time is going to move 86,400 seconds at a time. Like just being just straight up, like it's going to move just like that. Like you don't get any more, you don't get any less. Like it's going to move just like that. So if I'm going to spend that time doing something, I'm going to spend it on the things that I want to do versus the things that I don't want to do. The things I don't want to do is working on this damn car. So I'm going to buy a new one. But when I said this to the guy told me that I wasn't a man because I wanted to skip out on the work. He said that it's hard work being a man, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So I don't know if
what?
I don't know if this is like the like it's if it's the how do I say this? I don't
So,
know if it's the general consensus of the poor community,
mm,
but for whatever reason, we all have this thing of this follow the leader mentality of what it's like to be a man, but nobody is really telling you what you really should do when you're in the process of being a man.
oh,
And for whatever
oh,
reason,
okay.
like when I think back on like my family and where we came from and how I
Uh,
was brought up and all that other stuff like that, like these dudes, like they weren't out here thinking like, yo, I'm wasting my time on this. They were like, look, if it's broke, I'm gonna turn the wrench and I'm gonna go handle it.
mm,
So
mm,
they weren't in the mind space of let's optimize our time to the fullest capacity. They was willing to waste their time on anything as long as it was gonna save them money.
mm. Yep, yep. And oh, that's crazy. Cause yeah, that like oh, I didn't notice until you said something about it. But like, yeah, that's the social norm. Like, it, at a young age, it was like kind of distilled that a man should just work. His whole life should be comprised of hard work. That is what defines his, his social status in this hierarchy, mid class, high class, rich class, all this other stuff. Like, if you're not working like with your hands, or just like
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was the working
physical
with your hands part.
physical back
Mm-hmm.
breaking work.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not doing that, you're not a man. Like, you're,
Right.
and it's so much other things, men can do, like art, music, the stuff that takes like a mental strength, instead of, you know being all, jacked and muscular. Not saying that it's not a good thing. You should want to strive to be, healthy and fit, at least fit.
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah.
you ain't got to be like, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, or
Keep
Sylvester
going.
Stallone,
Keep
or
going. Keep going. You got it. Mm-hmm.
or Arnold Schwarzenegger, nothing like that. But, just fit. Uh, but like, we have this social stigma that we have to basically kill ourselves each and every day to be defined as a man. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't come home sweaty, exhausted, shirt ruined, you ain't worked. You ain't a man.
So it's also a thing in even our workplace right now where like the the blue collar people don't look at the white collar people they don't look at them the same. They like the blue collar men think that the white collar men are less of men because they can't do what they do on a regular basis.
How
However,
so?
I would like to. So look, like we sweat on over boxes all day. We
Mm,
lift heavy things. We move stuff. So we getting our hands dirty. We got to put on the gloves. We got to strap up and wear the vest and do the thing.
mm,
But the white collar guys, they don't have to do all that. The white collar guys, bro, our manager ain't got to pick up a box at all if you don't want to. So we look at them as less of men because they don't do what we do. We doing all of the heavy lifting. All they do is get to point fingers and draw charts and sit on phone calls all day. So they not as manly as we are. Like we look at that as the same thing. Meanwhile, those dudes up there getting their asses handed to them on a different kind of level.
mm.
So we look at the folks that ain't got to do what we do as, or the ones that's above us, or we call them pencil pushers, or the office jockeys, or the desk jockeys. Like you got all these different kind of names for the people who don't do what you do, but at the same time, like yo, for real, they put in work on a different kind of level so that you can have a job in the first place.
Oh, okay.
So for real, like in the scale of in the sense of things, like when you look at the scale, like who's bringing home the bacon for real? Like is it you who just got the job, or is it the man that keep the job going?
Okay. Okay.
I wish the
Hmm.
white collar guys stop coming into my blue collar territory and telling my blue collar my blue collar people that they don't know how people do this for extended periods of time. Like I wish that stopped happening, but we ain't got to talk about that.
What? Somebody
We ain't got
from
to talk about that.
what?
Oh yeah, there was a whole group of them talking about that when they were doing that jump team thing. Yeah, I
Oh,
wish that stopped happening.
got you. Got you. Uh, it's very interesting that you have those people at the job that kind of just like they are consumed by the uh I have to work hard my entire life. Uh, there's no going up, there's no going down for me. It's just work, and I'm gonna work
Mm,
until I retire, or until something better comes along, or uh, whatever pipe dream that they're that keeps them moving forward, which is crazy because out of that they don't strive for nothing greater, and it baffles me because like you're a human being who is wired to think like that, to think that there's something greater out there for me, and I want to grab it. Like,
mm,
isn't it human nature to want things, to want greater and better things? Like it takes almost every fiber not to buy the newest phone, the newest car, the newest game system for some people, and it's just how do you want those things and not want to do something to make all that attainable?
that's a good question. Like I'm still trying to figure that out my damn self. Like I'm still trying to figure out why dudes out here just like you talk to some of these guys, bro,
Mm.
and they just like, yo, I ain't never had a dream in my life. Like you just like you like
Like what?
I ain't never wanted nothing in my life. Like I'm just trying to figure that part out. Like all I wanted was these figurines. Like I ain't want nothing else. Like or yeah, it's really dudes out here who are just like straight up acting like they never had a care in the world. Like everything right now was perfect, and all I want is what's going on right now.
Mm.
I ain't never wanted to strive for nothing. I ain't never wanted to do nothing more than what I'm currently doing. Like it's dudes out here who own that, bruh. And like I personally don't get it. But I just want them to stop stepping into the realm of trying to keep people who want to do things, trying to keep them where they are. Like I just want that to stop happening. Like I can care less. Like if you want, like I said, we John C.
Mm.
Maxwell said, don't sign up for that class. I ain't trying to sign up for what trying to figure out who is who, why you want to do this, why you want to be stagnant for the rest of your life, bro. I don't care. Like I'm just being real with you. I don't really care. Like you can have that if that's what you want, but like I'm just like you just need to stay where you are. Like if you're going to do that,
Mm.
like just understand that there are people who want more. And when you talk for whatever reason, when you talk, you sound like somebody who's trying to keep the people who want more. You trying to hold them back on purpose. And like we got people right now, like people who know us, like people who are quote unquote friends with us, who for whatever reason, whenever we say we trying to move up, they trying to they trying to build, they handy and stuff because they real
Mm.
men. They real men, so they handy, and they trying to build stuff in front of us to keep us from actually climbing this ladder, and they don't even understand that they trying to keep us from doing it.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
And here's how you notice that, because like some people don't even know what that means. Some people don't even know what that looks like. So you like tell your dreams and goals to somebody, and
Mm.
they look at you like, well, good luck with that, man. These CPT changes a real bitch.
Come on.
I know some of y'all don't even know what the fuck that is. Like, but it doesn't even matter. Like, pick one of the biggest complaints about your job, and to like the person that you just told your biggest goal to, and they just look
Mm.
at you and be like, "Yep, that sounds nice." And I wish I had something like that. Man, this is something that. And they insert complaint about the job right there.
Yep. Yep. It so to go along with that, I saw this video not too long ago. Um Guy name was Sully Breaks, and he was talking about leadership. Uh and it won't
Sule,
necessarily Sully
Sule.
Breaks. Sully Breaks. He was talking about leadership, and it wasn't much so leadership of like the whole, Martin Luther King thing or like Malcolm X. He did mention those people, but it wasn't so of, leading a mass group of people to, change the world or whatever. It was more of ideas. Instead of having more leadership, like, a leader moving a group over here, a leader moving a group over here. He wanted to say that we need more people brave enough to throw out ideas, no matter how crazy they are, ideas that can actually have a effect to change whole communities, to bring up people, ideas like the Dirty Trunk podcast to spread
For the elephant is
free
always welcome.
to spread free content to help people that are in uh the 9 to 5 to get out of that, to strive for entrepreneurship, to strive for, you know, anything greater than the person they were yesterday, uh ideas like, two guys trying to live phenomenal lives, just stuff that puts people in a better mood, cuz right now the world is like, it's real toxic. It's it's crazy that, the news is always showing uh black people getting killed by cops, sex trafficking, kids being abducted. There's hardly anything positive shown on the news. And it's like, if you want anything positive, any news article to show positivity, you have to dig for like hours just to, or like, just exactly what you're looking for. And it struck me because not a lot of people think outside the box. People are actually comfortable living inside the box, living inside this castle that, their family
Beta
and
boxes.
beta boxes,
Made this is a castle made of boxes.
castle made of boxes. Yep. Ooh, a castle made of boxes. That was built from childbirth. It was a collective of their environment, their family status, and it's crazy how they get stuck in that castle. They believe that they're nothing more and they're nothing less than their own castle, and they have no motive to seek help from other nations. Go out and seek help, go out and network, go out and try to expand,
Mm-hmm.
which is freaking crazy because like you're stagnant for so long that you just you become numb to everything around you. Like, how do you do that? Like, you have no life in you. Like it just I'm almost speechless trying to speak about it because it's a foreign concept to me that I just can't grasp. It's like even right now, I want to do bigger and better things. I'm just constantly thinking of like things I can do. I want to
Mm.
make doing game designing, doing digital art, 3D modeling. Like, game designing isn't the only thing I want to do. It's like just the gateway to countless possibilities of things that I could just do with that knowledge of
Right.
game designing, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, if you compare that to nature, try to like think of a tree, right? If you leave a tree in the middle of nowhere, it gets sunlight, it gets water, it's constantly growing up and down. Like, the roots is building this complex system of pathways, trying to just trying to survive. Like, it's growing no matter what, with or without you. And it's like, people in that mindset of they just want to be stagnant. they're they're a little tree that's not growing. Like, they're not getting any sunlight, they're not getting any water, they're just comfortable just being there, and they're just slowly withering away. Like, those are the people that you see that, like, they're the trees on the side of the road that are just leaning, that just like one strong storm is gonna just topple them over.
Mm. I'm actually thinking about them like in a little bit of a different sense, Mark. Like,
Mm,
let's I'm like trying to come up with like trying to think of like a way to say it,
mm,
but like like the people that we are talking about, right? Like most people, they are strong in their belief that they are inadequate. They're strong in the belief of the things that they have been taught is
mm,
the things that's right. And once you get out of high school or college or whatever the case is, you don't need to learn nothing more. So they stuck where they are. And like a tree, you think about a tree, right? A
mm,
tree is stuck where it is. Like, it takes a lot of effort to move a tree. And even when you try to move a tree, you can still kill it at any point.
mm,
Like, take derooting a tree from the ground and trying to move that tree to another spot. I ain't saying it's impossible, but when you do it, you got to be real meticulous. And you got to have a professional, an expert, a botanist, literally a botanist has to come out and try to perform this process of moving a tree. I've seen it done before.
wow.
If it's a little tree, they can you can do that yourself. That's not a problem. You can put
Mm,
that in the pot, keep it going. Terracotta pot, put it in, keep it moving. You can do that. But the bigger the tree is, the harder it is to actually deroot and move. But like, thinking about these people, right? And
mm,
some of the folks that we're talking about, their roots are in the fact their roots are down into these ideologies that are outdated and worn out.
Mm.
They have antique plates on their ideologies, and for whatever reason, they're afraid to go to the dealership and get new ideologies. And any knowledge that goes against the people that they love and the people that they care for is sin. Like my daddy taught me that hard work is this. My daddy was a good man. My daddy worked hard for a living. My daddy taught me that I had to keep my hands moving. So in order to honor my daddy, I gotta do this. So they have these roots dug into these ideologies so deep that that they had their roots dug into these ideologies so deep that it makes them almost impossible to move. But they're not understanding that the soil around them is not fertile. Like nothing
Ooh.
grows here. Like it's salted. So they had these deep roots. Like I'm not challenging the thing that you're saying. I'm just trying to expound on it because like these dudes are like these people are digging their roots into the wrong dirt, but they're digging while they're digging because you said a tree grows up and down and like that's
Mm-hmm.
deep. Like you said that a tree grows up and down. Those roots, like the bigger the tree is, the bigger the
Bigger the
root
root
system
system.
is because it needs more support. It needs more support for the tree to actually stand up. But these people, they're thinking that the roots are important. Their roots, their background, where they came from, what they've been doing, what they've come from, like the things that happened to them, they're thinking that the roots are important. But they're just deep roots with no tree.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
They
Yeah.
roots are they think that they need to dig more roots or go back into their roots, but they're not digging into the right part of those roots. They're not trying to grow up. They're trying to stay where they are. So as it pertains to the tree of knowledge, the tree of life, like they don't do none of those things. They don't do knowledge. They don't do life. They don't do lifestyle. Like the tree just doesn't grow up. It's just baseline. So it's like you got this big root system, oak tree root system, maple tree, California redwood root system,
Mm.
and you got this little maple, this little sapling growing out of it with this little leaf, just one stem and one leaf, and you're not doing nothing with life, but you steady thinking that you're doing something by honoring these root systems.
Mm. Oh. Yeah. Like it's interesting. Um, basically like what you said, like people take, their what they learn from, their parents, their upbringing, and they and I'm not gonna say, because I'm religious, so I believe, you honor your father, you honor your mother, and your life is prolonged.
You
But
cut off for a second. I'm pretty sure your microphone caught it. You said honor thy mother, honor thy father, right?
yeah,
All right, yeah, all right.
and your life will be prolonged or whatever. Um, but at some point you have to start honoring yourself. You have to uh just like they say in the book, or it's always preached that who and your mother and father, they can't get you into heaven. You have to have that personal relationship, with whoever, whomever, whatever you believe in, right? uh but we get stuck on that old teaching, and we treat it as the gospel. People would go out and even preach that, like, oh well, uh you're trying to buy a house right now. Oh, but my mom said, the market's real bad, or some
Yep, my
type
mom
of
on that.
or like some type of old saying or old wise tale that was distilled in that person. They'll bring that up in a situation like that. uh and it's just like when are you gonna learn that sometimes you have to experience things for yourself? Like you can't live through your parents. You can't live through any anybody. You have to live through yourself. Your wants, your needs, you have to, define
If
them.
my mama said, not to experience nothing without her.
Experiences are bad. Anyway. But yeah, like you gotta live your life. Like point blank simple. Like just live your life. Like strive and try to grasp the things you want and need, you want to experience. Even if it's something, minute. We can sit here and talk to you guys until we're blue in the face. Uh but like in reality, we want you guys to uh like we always say, just be better, do better. Like there's a whole other world out there that, people like us, uh even not even based on color. It's not even like a black or a white thing. There's a whole world out there that, you know, we don't get to experience. Middle class people
Oh my
don't
God.
get to experience.
My God, bro. I'm
Like
telling you, dog.
there's whole places that are in,
Hey,
places that you go regularly that you
I'm,
never
I'm
get to
just
experience.
I'm just saying, bro. Think about like the best all-inclusive resort that you just saved up your every penny that you made at
Mm,
your job. You and all of your family members, y'all to pitched in to go on this extravagant vacation. And like think about the fact that there's people who doing that on a regular.
mm.
Like they just do it because it's a Friday.
Oh,
Meanwhile, you can't go to this nice restaurant, Red Lobster, whatever the case is, because until Friday.
Oscars.
You
Right,
can't go until Friday.
right. Oh man, I remember in college, because I was, made it to the honor society, had good grades, all this other stuff. Me and a couple of people, we were picked to go to Japan for, I forget what it was. I think it was like some type of electronic something. Um,
Mm.
but you had to, I think you had to pay for the ticket out there, or either they paid for the plane ticket, but you had to pay like this entry fee of like $4,000 or something like that.
Mm.
Would have been a great experience and whatnot, but like just seeing that price tag alone, uh, I was like, oh yeah, I ain't going. It ain't no way. Uh, but my folks, they was like, we can, do fundraisers. We can, if you really want to go, we can ask the church, take a collection, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, nah, nah, that's a pipe dream. We ain't going there. Um,
Oh my, you had opportunities to actually go and you just turned it down, bro.
like I said, man, it was a while ago. Seeing that price tag from, like the experience of, you know middle class.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, there
it
it is.
it and now thinking back on it, like I ain't gonna say that ain't a lot of money, but
No,
it.
it's not, bro. It's not. It's not. Maybe you don't have it. I get that, but
uh
it's not a lot of money, bro. It's not.
Big
You
facts,
make,
big facts.
bro. Your household make 4,000 a month, bro. Like,
True,
come on, bro.
true,
Like,
true.
if you
That is now. I won't really working like talk about back there,
But
but
like I'm
like,
saying, like for real, like
mm,
because you middle class. I ain't talking about you, Mal. I'm like just like talking in general. But
yeah,
because you middle class, like you feel like the amount of money you feel like $4,000 is a lot of money. So you see a
mm.
$4,000 price tag and you just like, oh, you can't do that.
Yep.
But like for real, like
Mm-hmm.
that experience, like, and maybe at this point, like, because quantum continuum and all that other stuff like that, had you gone to that, you would have been a completely different person in a completely different situation, and the Dirty Trump podcast wouldn't exist. So, putting that out there that, maybe, it was for the better that you didn't, but maybe, like, I don't know, neither here or there.
Mm,
Um, but you could have been in a whole lot better situation.
yeah.
In bruh, $4,000 could have just been the investment to your next 100,000. Like, ain't no telling. Like, and there's people out here who skip opportunities because of the price tag too high,
Mm,
and you just looking at the money that you don't have instead of looking at how to obtain more money to get to it.
yeah. And that's a lot of where middle class people's problems come from. They see money as, or just a price tag as like you said, something that they don't have, something
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna cause them to have to uh work out of their little comfort zone to fix. But a price tag could be, like you said, a real big investment on, skyrocketing whatever type of dreams you have to become reality. It could put you literally a small investment could put you right there in front of your dreams. It could supply you with the opportunity you need. It could supply you with the experience to, basically light a fire in your pants to want to do those things to get you out of your 9 to 5, to get you out of, to just live a different lifestyle. Like, most in 9 times out of 10, like, if we could get more people to experience life, I believe that they would want more in life.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
But yeah, cause
But
we're stuck on, like you said, growing up, we didn't get those luxuries. Uh,
mm-hmm.
we didn't experience life, or we didn't enjoy life until, we made it to the weekend.
Nah, bro, I ain't even nah, for real though. Like, I want to cut you off there because,
Mm.
like, I can't agree that. And I ain't saying that everybody have them, but, like, I can't agree that we don't get those. We don't get exposed to it. Like, I can't agree there. Like, yo, for real, you've been getting exposed to it your whole entire life.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, how often though? Like, we didn't experience those luxuries until, the weekend, or until, like, until we were out of school, and, our parents saved up.
Regardless, bro, like, you
Mm,
still got the exposure.
right.
Like, bro, any bit, a drop of water to a
Mm,
dry sponge changes that sponge. I don't care what you do, whether it's, you leave it in the sun, it dry
facts.
back out.
Mm,
Any drop of water to that dry sponge changes that sponge's texture. It changes its density, and it changes its weight. Like, for real, like, that's like to say that,
that's true.
because I ain't been to Disney World since I was 12 years old. I'll never go to Disney World again. Bruh, like, for real. Because I went to Disney World at 12 years old is why I'm at 20, well, I'm about to tell I'm 29. At the age I am right now, that, like, this the reason why I am so focused on getting better, because when I did experience it, I didn't experience it the way it should be experienced.
Come on.
So, like, for real, like, and most
Mm,
and everybody who's listening to this right now, you just seen it, bro. Like, you just saying all this stuff out here. Like, you are. It's not that you're not getting exposed to it. It's that every time you see it, you like, well, I can't afford that. It must be nice.
mm,
Every time
mm-hmm.
you see something, you would already count yourself out because you just like, well, that must be, I can't afford that. And, that'll never happen to us. We would never be able to do that. I only work at such and such. I only make this much money. Like, I'll never be able to do that, bro. I didn't think I'd be able to go to Mexico, but I was like, whatever it takes to
Whatever
go
it
to
takes.
Mexico, I'm going to Mexico. Like, yo, it is what it is. I am going to Mexico. Like, it didn't matter that I couldn't afford it. It didn't matter that, like, I couldn't afford not to get the experience. And because I got the experience, And I don't think y'all get it. Like, it ain't even about going to the place and relaxing and all that other stuff. Like, I got the experience, I got the exposure to it, and because I got the exposure to it, somebody else is about to get exposed to something too.
If the keeps on giving. Uh, yeah, a lot of people they don't think that way though, and in order for them to get to that point in their life, uh, something's gonna have to change. Something drastic. I mean, I ain't gonna even say drastic because it usually takes just a simple mind shift of I can do. Uh, they're gonna have to figure out something about themselves that I want to do XYZ. In order to do XYZ, I have to uh cut this out, focus solely on the X and the Y, and then once I get those out the way, I can get the Z. I can perform it all. Uh, cause you making it to Mexico, that you're still here. You ain't had to sell a kidney. You ain't had to, you know. Uh,
And get a kidney stolen from me while I was there either. For those who we ain't gotta go there though. Go ahead, my bad.
uh, you ain't had to do this, life altering thing to do this, to have this phenomenal experience. It wasn't like you had to rob a bank or anything like that. You wanted to go. You made it your mission to go, and you went. Literally that simple. Make something your
Right,
mission. Focus so hard that you actually succeed in your mission, and you succeed.
right.
It's literally that simple. But people get all bent out of shape of the price tag, what other people think. Like some people would have actually took the heart. Oh, don't drink the water out there. Oh man, when we go to Mexico, we can't drink the water.
But
We we.
like to take it a little deeper, bro.
Mm,
Some people will look at it and to justify the fact that they are so limited in their belief, they'll look at it and say that's a waste of money.
mm, yeah, yeah. Mm,
So I'm gonna
true.
I
Uh.
like just breaking it down to the practicality of it, bro. Um, the only thing I can say is the successful people, the wealthy people,
Mm,
they don't look at certain situations or price tags on things and say I can't afford that. That's not their bag. That's your bag. Um, but what you need to do instead of looking at it as a situation of I can't afford this, just simply just ask yourself, what would it take for me to be able to make this happen? How can I make this happen? And what moves will I need to make? Like if if I make this happen, what would I need to do to get there?
mm. So, uh, in short of it, just follow you guys' hearts. Uh, there is it's a lot of conditioning. It's a lot of manipulation that you've been through. Uh, the that middle class mentality is it's very hard. Uh, but
And
like
it's expensive.
it is, because in the long run, you would try to save money and end up spending a lot more than what you're actually wanting to spend. Uh, take we've made mistakes. We've been there before. We've been in you guys' shoes. We're in you guys' shoes right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but in that, we're still striving to be phenomenal people. Uh, and we just want to give you guys the blueprint to just live your lives. Uh, it's gonna be a struggle. We said this many times before you, but you have to address your own elephants. You have to get into a mindset that I can do what I put my mind to. I have to, like Aaron Max said, man, figure it out. Do what you need to change, learn what you need to do to, put yourself in a better position. Um, Other than that, you know, just have fun with it, rock with it, address those elephants, uh, and get out of that 9 to 5.
So, wanting to address the belief aspect of this situation, because
Mm,
some of y'all just rocky as it pertains to your belief system.
mm,
You just don't, for whatever reason, you just like look at things in life and just be like, yo, I ain't supposed to do this. I ain't supposed to have this. Like it wasn't meant for me. Like I don't know what you like. I don't know where it's coming from. Like, but for real, you guys have to jump into why you feel that way, because until you figure out why you feel that way, you can't address the fact that there's things that you want to do. Like there's things that you want to do more of. There's experiences that you want to have, but for whatever reason you feel like you're not worthy of these things. You can't. You're inadequate, or whatever the case is. You're too poor or whatever. I don't care. Like you have to go back into your past and figure out why it is that you feel that way. You had to whoever made you feel that way, whatever situations made you feel that way, whatever part of your upbringing made you feel that way. Because for real, blue collar or middle class mentality, middle class lifestyle breeds
mm,
some poison that you wouldn't even believe. It breeds poison that you wouldn't even know that you poison until you start trying to get out of it. I promise you. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. When you start going against the beliefs of the people that trained you into the person that you are today, it's going to make a hell of a difference, and you're going to be a hell of a lot different when you come out of it. You're going to be better when you come out of it. Hell, you might have to cut off some family members in order to make it happen, but it has to happen. If life life is not meant life wasn't meant to be stagnant. Life was meant to flourish. Life was meant to do more than what you're doing right now. Life was meant for you to be prosperous. It was meant for you to have everything in life that you ever wanted. I'm looking at a world map right now, and it's like a whole bunch of places on this map. Like it's one of the scratch off joints where you can scratch off a whole scratch off the countries that you visited or whatever, and then you
mm,
can scratch it off at the bottom where the flags are. You scratch it off, scratch off the paint, and it reveal the flags behind it. Like yo, like for real. Like I'm looking at I can scratch off at least uh, phew, I can scratch off 20 states of the United States right now. For whatever reason, we just never took it out the glass to do so. But I can scratch off 20 states on the United States right now, and the majority of you listening to this podcast ain't never been outside of the state that you live in currently, and that's sad, bro. It's sad. For whatever reason, you feel like you're inadequate to handle the things that the world has for you. Like I'm the type of person that feels like if man made it, I can have it.
mm.
If man put his hands on it, then I have the right. I have the right to say I can, that I want it. Like I have that right. Whether I get it or not, that's not the point. But whatever I live my life trying to figure out how is it that I can get my hands on the most fanciest thing in the world? Like I don't even know what that is. Like what gold steak from a restaurant, $1,000 gold steak. I don't know if anybody's
Uh,
seen that. If anybody's seen that video online where the guy was in the restaurant. It was like I ordered a $1,000 gold steak from
mm,
this restaurant, and here's what happened. Like they came in with the guys with guns. It looked like SEAL Team 6 came up in there with guns, and they were protecting this one guy holding the briefcase. And he came and put the briefcase on the table, and it was like this gold plated briefcase. And he opened it up, had the lights and stuff inside of it, and then like it was like the smoke was in it, and then he poured out the plate, and it would have a solid gold stick on it. I don't know how that worked. I don't get it. I don't understand it. All I know is that I need to figure out what I need to do to get to that point where I can get to this restaurant. And I know exactly what restaurant it is. I know exactly where it is. I know exactly how to get to it. I got the destination saved in my phone. I know exactly where I'm going. But some of you guys don't look at things. You guys don't look at things as destinations. You look at everything around you that you can't have as a roadblock.
Mm.
And when you look at life as a roadblock, when you look at the things that you don't have as roadblocks, you block yourself in. So as it
Yep.
pertains to the castle made of boxes, as it pertains to the castle made of boxes, it's like boxes have what, 6 sides. All right. Most boxes have 6 sides, unless you work at Amazon, then they make up some shit. But boxes have 6 sides, and you
Mm.
looking at every side of every box from the inside of your castle like a roadblock.
Like,
You guys have to.
like,
There has to be a level of accountability for yourself to say that I I want it not because I asked not.
oh,
Like the Bible said, you want not because you ask not. You haven't asked yourself for these things. You haven't given yourself permission to have these things. So therefore, you will never get it. You haven't given yourself the permission to want more than what you already have, and that's why you don't want more, because every time your friends speak, every time your friends say that they got dreams of doing something, you shoot it down. You say, well, good luck with that. Well, you would never be a millionaire. Well, it's hard to do this. Well, you can't do this because such and such. Well, the housing market is hard right now. Well, it's hard to write books, bro. Well, you can't make video games because such and such. You have to get an expensive computer, and it's really expensive, and it's expensive. So I don't know how you're going to do it because it's so expensive, and I don't know how that's going to work because it's so expensive to do that. It doesn't matter. You guys are so fixated on the fact that you don't have the money right now that you don't focus on the fact that there's money everywhere. There's money all around you. People
yeah.
pass and go. People pass and go and they sleep and you wait until Friday.
Oh, big
People
fact.
pass. People look at the fact that you doing what you doing and they looking at that like, yo, what in the hell? Like, I'll never be able to do this old crazy shit. Like this some old bullshit. These people really doing that. It's people really out here teaching their kids that if they are doing the things that you do for a living, then they have failed in their life.
Big fact.
It's people out here who would say that if they did what you did for a living, that they would commit suicide because they don't know how they got there.
Mm.
It's people who say that your $4,000 that you say that you need to save up for is chump change,
Big
and they
fact.
living like it, and they didn't do nothing more than what you could do. They're not superhuman. They're not astronomical. They weren't born with silver spoons in their mouths. They created the silver spoon. They made the mold for it and they poured the silver themselves. They
Mm.
did that because they asked the question, how can I afford that? Instead of saying that they can't afford it. So stop telling yourself that you can't afford stuff. It's up to you. This is your fault that you're in this situation right now. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It ain't your parents. It ain't your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your cousins, niece, nephew. It ain't got nobody to. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody. It's your fault that you are in this situation, and it's your responsibility to get yourself out of it. Ain't nobody gonna pull you out of it. Let's go.
Come on. Come on.
Let's go.
So you made me come to the realization of this old saying that uh my old band director, he was a real old cat. He would always say this about like the the not so bright students. Uh he basically would say like, you know, y'all are so stuck in your ways, basically, that y'all wouldn't know how to make your way out of a wet, opened paper bag.
I've heard that saying.
And I'm just like, back to the box thing. You're stuck in this castle. You're stuck in this box. Box has six sides. But let's just say instead of it being a box, wet paper bag. Wet paper bag, similar to a box. The back in the day paper bag, the brown paper bag, opening at
Mm-hmm.
the top, so you got five sides, and it's wet. And because it's wet, you're drowning. But it has an opening, and because you're stuck in your ways,
I can't.
you can't make it out. But you literally have an opening to get out. But because you're stuck in your ways, you believe in your bag. Your bag is your safety net, your parents' teaching, and this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because them
drowned.
roots are too deep.
You drowned because the roots are too deep. Yep, that's crazy.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh boy.
I,
um.
what we got coming up, Mac? What we got coming?
So I mean, by the time this episode posts, I've already been there and done it. But got Black Ink Con coming up.
Okay, okay.
Still haven't put together my presentation. I got the information all written down or whatever, but I still need to create the presentation for that joint.
Mm,
Um, I had to figure out because I don't know, bro. Like I'm trying to come to I got a come to Jesus moment. I'm trying to figure out like not necessarily a come to Jesus moment. I'm just being dramatic, but um, I'm trying to figure out right now like do what I should do for the day, and I know like somebody told me yesterday, right?
mm.
Um, and I got I don't know. Tell me is this weird or not? Like somebody told me yesterday that that I should I should relax this weekend because it's my birthday. Because my birthday was yesterday.
For those who listening, let me tell y'all about Mac, right?
Oh shit, here we go.
This man at work gets congratulated, gets a shout out. It's Aaron's birthday, everybody. Aaron made a whole nother year. Around the world, around the sun, all this other stuff. My man's turned back. It was like, yeah, he shook his head. And he just went back to work. He just went to working. So, uh, my man Mac, he's a I ain't gonna say he's a workaholic. He works, and uh, at some people would take that and be like, surprisingly, crazy enough, people would put themselves in a hole trying to celebrate for their birthday. Uh, but we have people out here like Mac that I ain't gonna say because you should be proud it's your birthday. You know, to each his own. However you feel about your birthday is how you feel about the birthday. But
Just a day.
exactly, uh, he instead of making changes to work around some type of extravagant birthday celebration. Some people celebrate it all week, some people celebrate it
You
all
know what I'm
month.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Uh
And broke as hell.
but the day after his birthday, he bright and early came here to do the Dirty Trunk podcast with your boy Marcus Morton. Uh and we steady grinding,
Steady
Uh
grinding.
that's Aaron Mack. That's the
That's something
personality
I
of
want
Aaron
to
Mack.
add. That's something I want to add on that. Um, like for those for all right. So I'm gonna put this message out there.
Mm,
I
stick to him.
appreciate everybody who gave me gave me the birthday shout out yesterday. Really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. I got so much love, and for whatever reason, I always get so much love on my birthday because I guess Facebook, it shows you that this person's birthday, so everybody
Yeah.
feels obligated to oh yeah, I forgot it was his birthday, but let me go ahead and hit him up because Facebook told me to. But for whatever reason you hit me up, whether you know me, whether you we just Facebook friends and you just happen
Mm-hmm.
to see it, like for whatever reason, like thank you for the love. I appreciate it, all the shout outs or whatever. But like for real, y'all, like my man told me that because because it's my birthday, he was upset with me that I was at work. But y'all, I ain't in a position right now where I can be skipping out on money.
Mm-hmm.
So like Mark said, some of y'all out here, you missing like the whole day. You missing like
Whole
money
week.
trying to celebrate your birthday. You spending money trying to celebrate your birthday while missing out on the money that you're supposed to be getting on your birthday. Now, I don't know about you, but like I kind of need the money, which is the reason why I still have a job now. Though we are working to get out of that. Right now, I ain't in a place right now to just straight up say I'm gonna just screw the job. I'm gonna just go home and just relax on my birthday. Some of y'all so busy relaxing and celebrating things that you can't get nothing done. But some of you are also the same people who say that whenever things are too expensive, you back out and say that you can't have those things. So stop trying to celebrate like for real. Like birthdays are just it's just another day. Somebody asked me why I don't celebrate my birthday. I don't celebrate. It's not the fact that I don't celebrate my birthday. If I made a big accomplishment on my birthday, then I'll
Mm-hmm.
celebrate it. But an old mentor told me that we don't celebrate birthdays, we celebrate accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
Getting another year older is not an accomplishment. Getting 1 year closer to death is not an accomplishment. So we don't celebrate birthdays, we celebrate accomplishments. And just because it's your birthday don't mean that you got a reason to celebrate. And if you're giving yourself a reason to celebrate because it's your birthday, it just shows how low your standards are.
Mm. Ooh, big fact. Uh, so yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Basically, it's just to work hard. Like all y'all gotta do is work. Like literally, not work for a job, but work for yourself. And just doing that, just doing the simple thing. You don't 100% have to know where you're going. Uh, do make a destination, make it plain. Make it as plain as you can get to. Uh, and then along the way, you know, make that dream more clear, and then keep focusing on that dream.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you don't have to change your life in a day. You don't have to, rack your brain trying to figure out this $1 million plan.
Mm-hmm.
Just start it, make the mistakes, learn from them. We we have plenty of mistakes.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely. Absolutely.
got a couple of lost episodes out there. We apologize. Y'all might get to see it one day. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that one. So disappointing.
But yeah, uh, on that note, we gonna end it off. You got any words of encouragement? You already,
I already gave it.
yeah, you
I'm
already
done.
grilled the peoples.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm done.
Let's get
Let's
it,
work. Let's get
people.
to work.
Let's get it. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It's me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love you guys.
Peace. Love you guys. See you next week.